Okay. This is part 13 of About My Spiritual Spouse. So, in this part, I'm going to be talking about his child's mother. Now, if you watch my previous uh, video about her, you know that I'm not too fond of her. I don't like her, because of my one and only encounter with her was not pleasant. She came across as like very elitist, like she treated me like the help or tried to, and I ain't like her. So I'm going to refer to her in this video as peasant. Now, I don't talk down on people or think I'm better than people because of their social status, but because she does, I'll make an exception for her. She'll be peasant in this video. So during the time that my spiritual spouse and I were in separation, we were still energetically connected, and we definitely were very active in each other's lives spiritually, even though there was very little interaction in the physical realm. So after we made our first contact, as I stated in a previous video, I was liking his posts on Facebook because we did become Facebook friends. So I was liking his posts, and most of the stuff he posted I would love. I wouldn't even like. I would love him. But in my reality, he was my husband. He's very active in my life, and I was doing what I had every fucking right to do because I was my husband. I was my spiritual spouse. So I did what I wanted to do because I knew that's what he was. But unbeknownst to me, he had a baby on the way, and the baby mother was obviously observing me doing this, unbeknownst to me. So she had already knew who I was because, like I said in the previous video, he included her in our first interaction. He included her in when he made contact with me. He involved her with our initial contact. So she knew who I was, and she obviously we didn't rub each other the right way during the initial contact. So, she saw me doing that, and I was watching tarot during that time. But during that time, I was also had a little thing going on with my twin flame, whereas though it was some things going on, like a kind of like a war, like, if you want to call it that. I would be giving them too much credit to say it's war. They was getting their ass whipped. So I was paying attention to tarot to kind of like for entertainment. That's what I watch it for, but to like tap in and see what the energy is and all that kind of stuff. So when I was watching tarot, I would see and hear about a Hispanic, or they said a white or Hispanic person that was saying stuff that like a karmic. You know how when you watch a tarot about your twin flame and your whatever. Most people be talking about twin flames. So when you watch a tarot about it, there's always a karmic in the background. So I was hearing about a karmic, but because I had a twin flame that I left, behind, I was assuming that the karmic that they were talking about was a Hispanic woman that my twin flame had. You know what I'm saying? He had a karmic. He's a karmic too, but he had a karmic that was Hispanic. She's Dominican, I believe, or Puerto Rican. But they were saying that she was pregnant in the reading. So I'm like, hold up. My twin flames karmic, or his ex, or whatever you want to call it, he didn't have any kids by her, and she couldn't have any more kids. Like, she had a lot of kids. I think she had like 7 kids or something like that. So she couldn't have any more. She got her tubes tied. And he didn't have any by her. So I'm like, okay, a Puerto Rican that's pregnant, or a Hispanic that's pregnant, or they were just saying somebody that's a different race that's pregnant, like white or Hispanic or whatever, doing all kind of stuff. Like, they're doing all kind of magic and all this other kind of stuff. So I'm like, okay. Because with tarot, a lot of the times you gotta read between the lines or whatever. So I'm like, everything might not be the exact way that the reader is reading it. Is what I'm saying. So I automatically like brushed it off as it being my twin flames karmic, you know. But in hindsight, finding out that she was pregnant, I'm like, okay, that's her. So obviously, apparently, she was doing spell work or throwing magic at me while she was pregnant with her baby. So when I'm on Facebook and I'm loving his stuff and we Facebook friends, she's pissed. So she started trying to spiritually attack me during that time. But I'm thinking it's my twin flames karmic, and I'm not thinking about her because I didn't even know she was pregnant by him. I didn't know she was even a factor. She was a non-factor to me. Like she was not a thought in my mind. And another thing I heard about a karmic doing was Santeria. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like doing Santeria, doing grave magic, going to grave sites. What else I hear? I also heard stuff about her saying that I can't be who I am because of my complexion or because of my race. You know what I'm saying? I heard in readings like a lot of racist stuff referring to how I look. Like, oh, she must not be, who she is, like a divine feminine or the empress because, I'm black. I'm too dark. I'm hearing all this stuff, but I'm still associating it with my twin flames karmic. So I'm like, okay, whatever, whatever. But once I found out that she was pregnant or she had a baby and she's pregnant during the time, I'm like, oh, that's who it was. I'm like, oh, he had the white or Hispanic karmic that was, racist and talking about me and throwing magic at me and doing, witchcraft and spell work while she was pregnant. And to me, that's just crazy. Doing spell work while you're pregnant is just pathetic because when you do spell work, it backfires, like especially when you're doing it to someone like me. So she could have easily hurt her baby during her pregnancy. She could have lost her baby during her pregnancy. Her baby could have been affected in so many ways from her throwing magic at me while she's pregnant. But she was so intimidated and so petty and thought she was so much better that she felt like she had the right to do it. Not thinking about the consequences of what could happen to her baby. Because a lot of the times when these pregnant witches, throw magic at people when they're pregnant, that it backfires. Like she could have lost her pregnancy. Her baby could have came out all kind of jacked up. Like it could have went so wrong. But she wasn't thinking about her baby. She wasn't thinking about nobody but trying to hurt me, which is crazy. Like energy don't discriminate. Energy don't care if you're pregnant. When I say energy, you can look at it like the universe, you can look at it as karma, whatever. But when you throw shit like that to somebody, especially somebody like me, the consequences could be very, very, very severe. And whether you're pregnant or not, it does not matter. It doesn't matter. So a lot of these witches will do this and then cry and play victim. When that backfire hits them. When they lose their child. Or when their child comes out all kind of messed up. And then the backfire might not hit while you're pregnant. The backfire could hit when your child is 3, 4, 5 years old and you lose your child tragically. Backfire does not have a time limit. It can happen while you're pregnant. It can happen later. Something very tragic can happen. Like backfire does not discriminate. Doesn't care if you're pregnant. You can cry and play victim and woe is me and why God and all that kind of stuff. Like I've seen all kind of karmics. I see straight through them, and they're straight weirdos. No accountability, does stuff, and think that they play the victim and think that they never wrong. It's weirdos. If you really knew a lot of the people that play in people face every day, you'd be looking like most people do. But even I, back in high school, like I have beat up a pregnant girl. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm no different than the damn energy, than the damn universe. Like if somebody tries to fight me and they're pregnant, I'm not going to care if you're pregnant. I'm going to protect myself. And then you not caring about your baby, I'm not going to care about your baby more than you do. I'm not going to care that you're pregnant. Now, I would not hurt a baby that's outside of your body. But if you're pregnant and the baby is inside of you and you try to come at me crazy, I'm going to beat your ass. Like that's a cause and effect. A lot like karma. You're out and you're fighting while you're pregnant. Ain't no, I mean, the person should be protecting themselves, not being more worried about your baby than you are. The girl that I fought while she was pregnant, I showed no mercy. Matter of fact, I did a little extra because I knew she was pregnant. You know, like people do stuff that is so irresponsible, and they think that it won't be, a consequence to their actions, and they think because they're pregnant that you're supposed to care more about their pregnancy than you do. That's not how life works. That is not how life works. But that's what she chose to do. So outside of those things, she obviously was watching me. She obviously knew that I was, you know, focused on him, not knowing the whole story. But it's like, I don't know what they had going on. I don't know what he was telling her. I don't know none of that, but nothing justifies trying to spiritually attack someone. Nothing justifies throwing magic at someone. And when I say throwing magic at someone, what I'm saying that she was doing, and what I'm saying that all witches do, when they're throwing magic at you, they are sending demons to you to attach to you, to haunt you, to spiritually attack you. So a lot of the times when they send demons to you, they really fuck with your head. They'll haunt you and just, a lot of the times it be like they get in your head to have you self inflict harm upon yourself, basically. So it's a lot of ways, it's a lot of examples of it walking around today when people say they're depressed. People say, they have anxiety. It's a bunch of things that could happen with witches where they can send demons to you, send spirits to you, send ghosts to you, whatever you want to call them. That they can really have you messed up in the head and have your thoughts all messed up. It's all kind of stuff. It can go deep. But that's what she was trying to do to me. Now, obviously, because of my spiritual ranking, none of the spirits that she tried to send to me wouldn't dare. As a matter of fact, they will tell me. Now, I don't work with spirits. I'm not a witch. I have certain boundaries set up where, so if someone tries to send a spirit to me, the spirit can telepathically show me, like they'll show me visions of the person. They'll tell me what's going on. So they'll basically snitch on a person. So during the 8 months that my spiritual spouse and I were in separation, when he separated me from my soulmate, after I found out that she had a baby and stuff like that, after the baby was born, during the 8 months of separation, I was getting visions of her doing something grotesque to her baby. So when I've got them like every so often, but when I would get them, I'm like, why am I, seeing this? Like, why are they showing me this? Like, it was gross. I said, she better not. But I was thinking it was something that she was going to do. No, it was something that she was actually doing. So she was doing black magic to get a spirit to come and try to attach to me to make me do whatever to myself. Think of the blackest thing that you can think of to do to myself. And the thing about black magic, people often associate black magic with what it tries to do to the person that is targeting. But with black magic, you also have to match whatever you want the spirit to do. So with black magic, the people are literally doing like the most disgusting, the most repulsive, the most gruesome. They're doing horrible, horrible, horrible things to coerce the spirit to match that, to entice the spirit to match that darkness. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not just sitting around playing with little dolls and lighting candles. No, it gets dark and dirty. The things that they do to try to entice the spirit or appease the spirit so the spirit can go in and match that energy. So she basically, in a nutshell, because I really don't want to get too into what she did, but what I will say is that she sacrificed her baby, but not its life. The baby is still alive and well. She sacrificed the baby's innocence to try to get a demon to come and attach to me. So she did that several times. I saw that vision a good 4 or 5 times over those 8 months. It was longer than 8 months. I saw him over a time frame. Every so often, I would get that vision, and it was basically a vision showing me what she was doing to the baby. The demon showed me. So yeah, that's why I really, 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 really don't like her. I don't like the peasant. I don't like the peasant. I don't like the peasant. Like, and then during that time, during the 8 months, I publicly said that she was doing black magic on me, like she's trying to attack me. But my spiritual spouse was protecting her. That's another thing that irritated the fuck out of me, right? So during the 8 months, my spiritual spouse, because as I said in other videos, I can move around astrally. Like I move around the spirit realm. I can go to sleep and come and see somebody whenever I want to come see somebody. Like I can go, I can cross, I can move around on the other side of the veil. My soul, my spirit. He knows that we've done it plenty of times together. Spent a lot of time over there, so he knows what I can do, and he knows the fact that she was trying to, spiritually attack me. He knew that I knew because I publicly said like you keep protecting her, and she keeps doing it because you keep protecting her. He knew what I was capable of. He knew that I could easily go to her and tear her ass out the fucking frame. Like I could eat her alive if I wanted to. Like I could really, really, really hurt that woman. So he was protecting her from me. He knew that I could go. I traveled through the astrals. He knew that I could easily come and visit her. Easily. So the way he protected her from me was our sleeping schedules. So she's a school teacher. So she would get up, I guess, around 7 o'clock a.m., 8, 6, 7 a.m. to get ready for work. So he would have me staying up all night long. And he wouldn't let me go to bed till about 7. Every time I try to go to sleep, he'd like shake me up. He could even, like, if I'm laying on my stomach, roll me all the way to my back in one fell swoop. Like, he would not let me go to sleep during her sleeping hours. And then when she was at work and stuff, he would let me sleep. So I would sleep for probably from like 7 a.m. to maybe 2, 3 p.m. And that was my schedule to protect her from me. My sleeping schedule is so messed up. I woke up today around 2 p.m. I think I'm gonna be up probably until when the sun comes up here. I might not go to sleep until like 7, 8 a.m. And my sleeping schedule is ass backwards. I know why it's like it is. Because somebody don't want me sleeping when somebody else sleep. So now I gotta suffer. Yeah, I get a full 8. So I guess I ain't suffering so much. It's just my sleeping schedule has been shifted. I'm sleeping on a different shift to someone else. Yeah, graveyard shift. Yeah, it is what it is. Now I mentioned this in one of my YouTube lives during the time, but yeah, she was steady throwing magic at me because she felt like she was important because he was protecting her, you know. So he wouldn't let me get to her because of that. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, like she's still mine. I've stated in another video, like I have the right with my spiritual ranking and who I am. I'm not a peasant like her, you know. With who I am, like anybody that tries to spiritually attack me, anybody that tries to take me out, I can claim their soul and I take advantage of my privilege. So she belongs to me. I let her live. Like he don't have to worry about me going to go do anything to her because once she takes her last breath, once she takes her last breath, she's mine. She's in my possession, you know. She's a zombie. She's a walking dead, like I've said about people in a previous video. Like she's walking around. She will not live any more lifetimes. Her existence in the spirit realm will be what I want it to be, and it won't be pleasant at all. Like, yeah, she's going to pay for all that she did, and he can't do nothing about it. But the main reason why she was trying to spiritually attack me and, you know, get me to do the worst of the worst to myself is because she wanted to destiny swap with me. That peasant in her mind thought that she could get rid of me indefinitely, the Empress, and she could sit in my spot with him. Like she would take my position in life. A peasant, a karmic, that's like a bottom feeding, bottom of the barrel, freaking piece of, yeah, like what the but she thought in her mind that she was going to destiny swap with me to take my position, my spiritual position, the reason that what I was created as. She was going to destiny swap it and be me or be in my position in life. So in turn, she definitely the only thing she did was like basically walked herself into my possession. She basically sacrificed herself to me. He was basically protecting somebody that belongs to me. He was protecting a soul that's already mine. Like what they did was just like stupid. Like it makes absolutely no sense. But people do what they do. They have free will. And people use their free will for all kind of stupid shit. So that's it, pretty much it for her. Like she's like a non-factor. She encountered the Empress and treated the Empress like a peasant when she's the peasant. She tried to spiritually attack me because she felt threatened, and she tried to destiny swap with me because she wanted to take my position, all that kind of stupid shit. But that's why I do not like her. It's not because of him, because really she wasn't a thought in my mind. I basically focused on from the time me and him crossed paths, from the time I awakened basically is when we crossed paths. I've been focused on myself, focused on my ascension, focused on all the downloads I get. I've been focusing on growth. I wasn't worried about that woman. She was like not a thought in my mind, but I have been an obsession for her. I'm I am the most important thing that's ever happened in her life. So yeah, she's irrelevant. So yeah, that's it for her.